Hello, happy Friday. It's Flora, your host of the human side of AI. And our Friday episodes are getting an upgrade. Jam is joining me on the mic today, and we are kicking things off with something I've been dying to talk about. Jam came home from the Women Building AI event in Salt Lake City with a realization. Everyone out there is building apps and learning AI. Almost everyone. But almost nobody is teaching people how to market what they build. You made the thing great. Now let's try to get a customer. So this August, we're running the AI marketing sprint inside Club Jam. Branding, story, SEO, daily automated blogging, social media that posts itself, manning chat, even AI voice for podcasting. And here's my favorite part. Jam is building a brand new side hustle from scratch, live, right alongside with you. She drops a hint about what it is in this episode, and I'm already scheming about starting one of my own. Ooh, we cover what it costs, how much time it makes, and why you can jump in at any level. It all starts August 1st. Let's get into it. Hello, Jam.
Hello, Flora. How are you?
Great. Happy Tuesday.
It is Tuesday. Yesterday, I went to the gym, and you know how they have like tracks and you're supposed to walk a certain direction based on the day? I thought yesterday was Tuesday, so I was walking the wrong direction on the track. And then this guy was like, "You're going the wrong direction on the track." And I was like, "No, it's Tuesday. And on Tuesdays, you go right." And he was like, "It's Monday." So it's that kind of week.
No, I don't know anything about tracks. Also, I have a Waterhole Wednesday group chat, and today a girlfriend was like, "Happy Wednesday," and sent her video. And we were like, "Girl, it's Tuesday." But we're really confusing people because anyone who's listening to this, it gets posted on Friday.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter what day of the week it is. We're all just here on our spinning rock, figuring it out.
So speaking of figuring it out, I am really excited to figure out what's happening with this marketing sprint that we're doing in August. Tell us all about it.
Yeah. Okay, so I got even more excited about this after my weekend in Salt Lake because if you guys don't know, I went to Sabrina Romanov's in-person event when it was Women Building AI. And I talked to so many people about what they're doing. And yeah, a lot of people are learning AI, teaching AI, vibe coding, building apps, all this stuff. But the thing that nobody's really doing is marketing. And people were kind of like all up in my business when they found out that's what we do, because that's where people get stuck. You're seeing every day, like people are building all these apps and things. And it's like, okay, that looks cool, but try to get a customer. I dare you.
Wait, you really mean that no one else is doing marketing out there with AI? Like teaching people how to, what?
It's more just like, this is the platform, this is AI, this is a prompt, which I've always kind of struggled with because I guess I didn't realize that was our niche. Like I always say it's sales and marketing with AI, but I kind of thought everyone was doing that. And so when they were like, "Wait, you use AI to like figure out your marketing and like make a plan," and I think it's also just the fact that we know how to do it in the first place. And we're using AI to help us.
Yeah. Okay. So you have this wonderful weekend. You have this like aha moment. Okay, we're doing this thing that truly no others are. But before that, you had already posted that we were doing this marketing. So was it just kind of like the validation that you needed?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And it was funny because so many people were saying like, "Oh, I built this app, but now what? Like, what do I do now?" And I'm like, "Well, did you do this? Did you do this? Did you do you have an Instagram? Did you build a content plan? Like, what's your voice? What's your reason? What's your story?" And that's when I kind of realized like, oh, not everyone thinks that way.
Okay. So you're going to teach all nearly 500 of our members how to think that way.
Yeah, how to think that way and how to do the thing. So the fun part, though, is I realized as I was putting this content together that you guys are probably all sick of me showing you like Jam AI and Club Jam branding. And also some of the things I'm teaching in the beginning are like, what's your story? How do you get there? So I decided to start like a side hustle business with you guys and build something fresh.
Are you going to tell us about what that side hustle is before?
I don't know. Will it ruin it? Will it ruin the surprise of building it? What do you think?
Just give us a hint.
Well, I only build things around what I'm passionate about. Like that's how I started Jam AI is this is what I've done my whole life. There's also a whole other part of my life that I've done my whole life that I'm passionate about.
Fitness.
Yeah, it has to do with fitness.
Okay. I'll leave it alone for now.
Okay.
So people come into the marketing sprint, they can access it because they're Club Jam members. And they create a marketing plan and content alongside you as you do it for this new business you're going to be building.
Yes, and it's not just like your general marketing plan. So I think that this little business I'm making can make 6 figures in 6 months. I really think so. And what I'm going to do is automate everything because I don't have time for another business.
Yeah. Okay. You read them.
So it's not only going to be like, let's make a Instagram post calendar. It's like, no, let's set this up to design, build, and post for you every month.
So run us through. Yeah. So what all is involved? So social media.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Social media. Well, let's back up. Branding, story, website if you don't have it already. Just kind of a quick. I won't do like in depth because most people have them, but I'll show how I'm building mine. And then marketing machine. So we need to cover SEO on the website, right? Like we want to make sure we have a really strong presence. We need to make sure we have blogging that posts every single day. So that's going to be one of those things that's automated.
Every single day. Wow.
Yeah. Jam AI's is automated. We post every single day. So we're going to post every single day there. We're going to start and develop social media channels and then create automations for those as well, where they post on their own. We're going to explore ManyChat and possibly, I have in this other group I'm in, people are building their own ManyChat, but the feedback has been people wish they just paid for ManyChat instead of built it because it's like not that much and annoying. So we'll probably just use Claude to help set up ManyChat and figure out that top of funnel strategy to get people in.
So you mentioned having to pay for ManyChat. When people come into this sprint, what should they be prepared to pay for?
Good call. They need to have a Claude subscription, and I would recommend going through the Zero to Claude Sprint. That's why we have July off to catch up on that. So if you haven't done that already, try to. I would say put aside $100 for a subscription situation that you may want to try out and test. I use something called Posties. It's a connector in Claude to connect to your social media. That's $29 a month. You don't have to use that though. There's ways around it. I'm choosing the easy path. Like, let's pay a little bit more because I know I'm going to make money on the other side. So it's fine. It's an investment.
I love that. Yeah.
So we need Claude, we need Posties, you should have your website up and going and paid for already. I wouldn't count that in this. We're going to talk through podcasts and AI voice stuff. So 11 Labs, they do have a free version, but if you're going to lean in and do a bunch of podcasts, I would suggest maybe $20 a month for that.
Okay.
And I think that's really it. The rest is just more setting up routines and schedules and building content on your own.
Well, that's a lot cheaper than having a team do it for you.
Yes. And the only other thing I'll say is in order to be truly automated, like how we're having stuff post to our site automatically, you're going to need some sort of like MCP to whatever platform you're on. So if you're using WordPress or Squarespace, there's MCPs for those. But if you're using something else, you might have a hard time getting that fully automated. But there's still ways to make it much easier than doing it manually.
And what are you most excited about the sprint for?
I'm actually excited to kind of like build with them, build with everybody else. Because sometimes I feel like I'm like watching and helping, and this will be more hands-on. And when you're doing it yourself, all these little things come up that you kind of forget you have to do.
Totally.
So literally as I work, I just have my screen recording whenever I'm working on things so that I don't miss anything.
And what did you learn from running the last Claude Sprint that you think you'll do differently with this one?
So one of the things I realized is that people get super excited in the beginning. And if you see our Zero to Claude, the interaction's like 10 out of 10 on the first 10 days. But then it drops off just because people have jobs and, you know, things get harder as you go through. I think this one's cool because it's broken up into different types of chunks. And so like if somebody wants to do it, but maybe they already have a brand and website, they can start in on week 2 when we go to social media. It's not like Zero to Claude kind of built on itself, whereas this one is kind of standalone every week. So I think we'll have more interactivity, and I'll make sure to like explain that to everybody as we get ready to build.
Very cool. So you touched on this already. You said, you know, I really recommend going through the Claude Sprint if you haven't done that already. If someone's listening to this and they're like, what is a Claude Sprint? Can you give us kind of just like a refresher of what is in that and where to find it?
Yeah, for sure. So this is our second sprint, and a sprint is basically where we're all doing it live together. So every day I'll post like a 2 to 5 minute video and then a challenge that goes with it. And so it's micro lessons every day for 30 days. And it's a sprint because we're all in it together. We're cheering each other on. When I post it, you can actually post your comments, questions for that day, and we'll get back to you. So it really feels like you're learning together in a group, which I really like. Yeah. So Zero to Claude was our first one, and it's literally that. Oh my God, I'm a teenage boy. It's literally that. You could start at day 0 knowing nothing, never downloaded or opened Claude. And then in 30 days, you'll be building AI agents for your business, and you'll know Claude inside and out.
Well, and yeah, I mean, truly the Claude Sprint is really meant for anyone at any level, because even if you are a Claude expert, and we have experts in our community, they also, you know, they use quick refreshers, I didn't know you could do that part of this thing that I already knew. So do you think that's going to be pretty similar to this marketing sprint? I mean, is it kind of for everyone at any level?
This one's a little bit different, actually, because the Claude, it gets a little bit more technical. So I feel like the last week, some people were feeling like, oh, this is kind of hard, just because we were working in Claude code and that word is like a little bit scary to people. Yeah. I promise you don't have to be a developer, no code to get through it. But this one is going to be obviously very marketing heavy and marketing focused. And so I think anyone in this group will be able to get in there and execute on every single lesson in this sprint.
Love that. Okay. And what are you doing to prepare for it?
So it's June 30th today. I've already had the outline of what we're doing done for like 2 months. But the fun part is I'm recording the videos and kind of getting stuff done ahead of time. But as I'm building out my brand for this new business and like developing each day's lesson, I'm changing it. So I'm glad that I had this like original structure, but I'm getting my hands dirty, like doing the real thing with you and realizing like, okay, some things make sense to do in a different order, or I may have left something out. So yeah, I'm building it out ahead of time. And then my plan is to have that business set up with the lesson. And then when we start, I'm going to go through it with my Jam AI brand.
I love that. Okay. I love that. So I just did the Go Giver Challenge, and that's a little different than the sprint, and I don't want to like confuse people listening, right? So I'm going to let you kind of simplify what that is. But one of my biggest takeaways from the Go Giver is like, you don't need this like crazy story to why you built your company, your brand, right? Talk to us a little bit about, well, one, what the sprint or the challenge was, and kind of the difference between a challenge and a sprint, and then also just like the importance of a story.
Yeah. Okay, so sprint versus challenge. A sprint is a longer period learning session where we do it together, and it's more in depth. I do videos for all of them. I'm holding your hand through a specific training. So a sprint is learning Claude, learning marketing. Our one after marketing is going to go deep into sales. Then we have one after that for AI agents.
Okay.
The challenges are like, yeah, the challenges are light and they're fun, and they're usually based on business books. And so this last one was based on The Go Giver, which is a book by Bob Berg. And it's all about like giving more than taking, and not trying to be the one who's out there getting stuff every day. Like the more you give and connect others and help others, the more you'll be seen as a subject matter expert, as somebody of value in your circle. And so we were using AI, Claude specifically, to apply those frameworks to our own businesses. And I thought it was really cool. It was an interesting book in the first place. And there were little challenges like one of the prompts was, show me how I can take all of my content and just give away really valuable information for free today. Like, what's something I could do to just create something and make what I do really easy for everyone else? So
I know time is a resource that not everyone has, right? So you were really encouraging these people, anyone who's about to do the marketing sprint, to really, dedicate themselves to doing the Claude Sprint. And I promise anyone who's listening who's like overwhelmed by that, I did a whole week's worth in an hour pretty much every week. So like,
yeah,
you can do it too. But going back to this idea of the Go Giver, are you going to be taking any of those concepts into this new marketing sprint?
Yeah, in a way. And it's all about positioning, right? So in the beginning, when we're talking about brand and your story, I will be bringing some of those concepts in, because a lot of times when you're talking about your brand and saying your about us page and everything, you're writing about you, right? But books like The Go Giver and the story, what's the one? The story, we're doing a sprint on it. The story brand.
Okay.
It's all about actually framing your ideal client prospect and how they could benefit from your service, rather than you talking about you and what you do. So I will be bringing some of that into our marketing sprint. But at the end of the day, this is for you to apply to your business, and everyone has a totally different thing, service, vibe, so I want people to take what makes sense to them for their brand.
Yeah, I know in one of the problems that this marketing sprint solves is you're targeting members who, quote unquote, should be posting, right? But this marketing sprint is so much more than just social media content. Why did you kind of focus on the member who should be posting?
It's interesting because I talked to those people in real life over the weekend at that retreat, and I've talked to many of you in Club Jam, and it's like people are waiting to know what to post, and people are waiting for something to say online, and it's like, stop waiting, just start, right? Like, just turn on your camera, start yapping, tell people who you are. Your story and your brand will form the more you post. And so there's just this fear of what other people will think. And we've got to get over that, because we can't spend our entire lives like on the sideline. We got to get in the game. We got to post. And the coolest part about social media is that it's free. Like, you can put your brand out there for free. And like, you're not doing that because you're worried about what your neighbor down the street might think if they see you on their Instagram. Like, who cares?
Right. Yeah. So I mentioned earlier that like there were times where I would do the Claude Sprint and I would all do it in 1 week, right? Or like 1 hour at the end of the week. And you made a big bet on like 10 to 15 minutes a day instead of a big week push like I've done. Why do you recommend that structure specifically?
I mean, honestly, whatever works for your schedule. I think you and half of the people were doing like a couple hours on a Sunday or whatever works for your schedule. For me, I like the bite-sized things. It's easier for me to sit down and do something for 10 minutes rather than an hour. But either way, it's not a course, right? So we're winning there. It's a live, do it together type of learning that's micro lessons. And yeah, whether you save them up for the weekend or do it that day, it's no big deal.
I love that. And even though that this is technically the first marketing sprint that you've offered, your background is, sales and marketing, and you've run, Jam AI for a while now, and you work with, within other small business owners and their sales and marketing. What have you seen, or what happens to a small business owner's confidence when their marketing is actually, working for them?
Well, you become proud of what you're putting out there and what you're making. And it's just, if you're proud of what things look like and what you're saying and what you're doing, you're going to share it more. And so I just think figuring out that voice, figuring out how things should look. And also the fact now that we have AI to help us look professional, like there's no reason why every single one of you can't create something that you are so proud of that you want to just put on every single channel, scream from the rooftops what you do, because we have ChatGPT Image 2.0 to make amazing logos, amazing content for our marketing. We have Claude to create these like custom apps where we could recreate this stuff over and over again. So yeah, I mean, I think between the AI and understanding your brand and voice, like we should be unstoppable.
I love that. Cool. Well, anything else you want to share about the marketing sprint?
Just the question is always like, is this with my membership? Yes, it's with your membership. It's not an upsell. It'll go live August 1st, which is a Saturday. And so I have like a phase 0 Saturday and Sunday, and that's going to be for those who are starting from ground zero. Like you don't have a website, you don't have a domain, you just have an idea. And so I'm going to walk through how I started with an idea and ended up with a website in 2 days. And then we'll start our marketing on Monday, August 3rd.
I'm so excited. And I might just think of a side hustle to do alongside it.
Oh, I think you should. It's kind of fun.
Cool. Well, Jam, thanks so much for joining us. And Jam and I are really excited. We're going to start trying. I was non-committal there. I'm, being cautious, but we're going to try to do these first of the Friday podcast together, where Jam really gets to get on here and share kind of what's coming up, what's new in AI. And I'm looking forward to doing these more with you.
Same. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.